In this video, we are going to be comparing linear to classic response curve type in Apex, which is the setting right here, response curve under controller. Pretty big debate amongst controller players because they are quite different. And some people really like classic, some people really like linear. So we're going to kind of talk about those, and I'm going to give you a visual example right now of what the difference is. So it's really pretty simple, the difference this is. So basically with classic, it is not a raw input. So as you see on the right, linear is a raw input, which I'll show you what that looks like in a second. But first, I'm going to give you the classic example. So watch the right thumbstick, this one right here that I'm moving right now on the controller cam for aiming. Watch that one as I try to do like a circle around this bot's head from about this distance. Notice I'm not able to do a smooth circle, and also notice how much the stick is moving just for me to be able to do this, and it's not even very smooth. And if you go in game and actually try this yourself, I think it's the best way to really feel the difference between classic and linear, is just go in the firing range and just do this like little circle test where you're just trying to draw a circle. But as you can see, my stick's moving quite a lot and my circle is not very smooth, and it's really not that accurate or that precise, it feels. So this is where linear is the complete opposite. If we go into our settings and we switch it to the linear response curve type, and we're in the same spot, notice how little my stick is moving and how accurate I can be. I have complete control over my crosshair and where it goes, and it does not take any effort on the stick. So this is really, the big difference between classic and linear. Classic is going to give you maybe a more classic type of feeling like you might get in Call of Duty or something. But linear is going to give you maximum control and precision over your aim, and you're not going to have to pull your thumbstick down a whole bunch like you do with classic, which I personally prefer, and it's one reason why I switched to ALC settings so that I can set my response curve type to linear manually, as well as all the other settings, which I'll have an ALC settings video coming out very soon, if not already on the channel now. So be sure to check that out for the overall best sensitivity you can use in Apex. But basically that's the difference between linear and classic. Now I think classic, if you're good on it and you're just starting the game, and that's what you're comfortable with, I do think it's okay. There are pro players that use classic, and there's nothing wrong with it. But I do believe, since I have switched to linear, I do think linear is the better option. Even though it is more difficult, it's going to be more rewarding whenever you do learn it, because you're going to be able to control your recoil so easily. It's just going to take practice. So basically, if you want to use classic, that's fine if you're a beginner, or that's just what you're comfortable with, and that's just what you're best with, you've used it for years, then fine. But if you're newer or you're looking for something to get better, I do recommend just spend a week or two playing linear, spend some time in the firing range and just really get used to it, because I believe it really will help your aim and tracking of enemies, and just overall being more precise. Another thing that can also help your accuracy a ton is using some KontrolFreeks. I recommend the KontrolFreek Galaxy thumbsticks. These are the ones I've been using for several years now. You can actually use code Skridley to get 10% off at checkout at KontrolFreek.com. I'll leave a link in the description so you can get that. They really do help a lot, in addition to using something like the linear setting in the game. Having a KontrolFreek Galaxy is what I recommend. I think the high-rise stick is a must-have on a controller, pretty much, in my opinion, if you want to have the best aim possible. So that's it for this video. Hopefully this helped, and I'll see you guys next time.